God's servants will be preserved. Next I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the world to keep them from blowing over the land or the sea or any tree. Then I saw another angel rising where the sun rises, carrying the seal of the living God. He called in a powerful seal of the living God, the voice of all angels, whose duty was to devastate land and sea. Wait before you do any damage on land or at sea or on the trees, until we have put the seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God. And I heard how many had been sealed. 144,000 out of the tribes of Israel. From the tribe of Judah, 12,000 had been sealed. From the tribe of Reuben, 12,000. From the tribe of Gad, 12,000. From the tribe of Asher, 12,000. From the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000. From the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000. From the sign of Simon, 12,000. From the tribe of Levi, 12,000. From the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000. From the tribe of Joseph, 12,000. And from the tribe of Benjamin, 12,000 had been sealed. The rewarding of the saints. After that I saw that there was a huge number, impossible for anyone to count, of people from every nation, race, tribe, and language. They were standing in front of the throne and in front of the Lamb, dressed in white robes and holding palms in their hands. They shouted in a loud voice, "Salvation to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb." And all the angels who were standing in a circle round the throne, the prophecy again, this time against many different, was shouted with only surrounding the elders, and the 4 living creatures prostrated themselves before the throne and touched the ground with their foreheads, worshipping God with these words, "Amen. Praise and glory and wisdom, thanksgiving and honor, and power and strength to our God forever and ever. Amen." One of the elders then spoke and asked me, "Who are these people dressed in white robes, and where have they come from?" I answered him, "You can tell me, sir." Then he said, "These are the people who have been through the great trial. They have washed their robes white again in the blood of the Lamb. That is why they are standing in front of God's throne and serving Him day and night in His sanctuary. And the one who sits on the throne will spread this tent over them. They will never hunger or thirst again. Sun and scrolling wind will never plague them, because the Lamb who is at the heart of the throne will be their shepherd and will guide them to springs of living water, and God will wipe away all tears from their eyes." The 7th seal. The Lamb then broke the 7th seal, and there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. The prayers of the saints bring the coming of the great day nearer. Next I saw trumpets being given to the 7 angels who stand in the presence of God. Another angel, who had a golden censer, came and stood at the altar. A large quantity of incense was given to him to offer with the prayers of all the saints on the golden altar that stood in front of the throne. And so from the angel's hand the smoke of the incense went up in the presence of God, and with it the prayers of the saints. Then the angel took the censer and filled it from the fire of the altar, which he then hurled down into the earth. Immediately there were peals of thunder and flashes of lightning, and the earth shook. The first 4 trumpets. The 7 angels that had 7 trumpets now made ready to round them. The first blew his trumpet, and with that hail and fire mixed with blood were hurled on the earth. A third of the earth was burnt up, and a third of all trees and every blade of grass was burned. The second angel blew his trumpet, and it was as thought a great mountain blazing with fire was hurled into the sea. A third of the sea turned into blood, a third of all the living things in the sea were killed, and a third of all ships were destroyed. The third angel blew his trumpet, and a huge star fell from the sky, burning like a ball of fire, and it fell on a third of all rivers, and on the springs of water. This was the star called Wormwood, and a third of all water turned on wormwood, so that many people died. The water had become as bitter. The fourth angel blew his trumpet, and a third of the sun and a third of the moon and a third of the stars were blasted, so that the light went out of a third of them, and the day lost a third of its illumination. In my vision, I heard an eagle calling aloud as it flew high overhead, "Disaster, disaster, disaster, on all the people on earth at the sound of the other three trumpets which the three angels have yet to blow." The fifth trumpet. When the fifth angel blew his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from heaven onto the earth, and the angel was given the key of the shaft leading down to the abyss. When he unlocked the shaft of the abyss, smoke rose out of the abyss like the smoke from a huge furnace, so that the sun, like abyss, was out of the smoke from the abyss, and out of the smoke dropped locusts onto the earth. They were given the power that scorpions have on the earth. They were forbidden to harm any fields or crops of trees, and told to attack only those people who were without God's seal on their foreheads. They were not to kill them, but to give them anguish for 5 months, and the anguish was to be anguish of the scorpion's sting. When this happens, people will long for death and not find it anywhere. They will want to die, and death will evade them. These locusts looked like horses armed for battle. They had what looked like gold crowns on their heads, and their faces looked human, and their hair was like a woman's hair, and their teeth like lions' teeth. They had body armor like iron breastplates, and the noise of their wings sounded like the racket of chariots with many horses charging. Their tails were like scorpions' tails, with stings, and with their nails they were able to torture people for 5 months. As their leader, they had Emperor, the Angel of the Abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek, Apollyon. That was the first of the disasters. There are still 2 more to come. The sixth trumpet. The sixth angel blew his trumpet, and I heard a single voice assuming from the 4 burns of the golden altar in God's presence. It spoke to the sixth angel with the trumpet, and said, "Release the 4 angels that are trained up at the great river Euphrates." These 4 angels have been ready for this hour of the day of this month of this year, and are ready to destroy a third of the human race. I learned how many there was in their army. Twice 10,000 times 10,000 mounted men. In my vision I saw the horses and the riders with their beast blades of flame color, hyacinth blue and sulphur yellow. The horses had lions' heads, and fire, smoke, and sulphur were coming from their mouths. It was by these 3 plagues, the fire, the smoke, and the sulphur coming from their mouths, that the 1/3 of the human race was killed. All the horses' power was on their mouths and their tails. Their tails were like snakes, and had heads which inflicted wounds. But the rest of the human race, who escaped death by these plagues, refused either to abandon their own handiwork or to stop worshipping devils, the idols made of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood, that can neither see nor hear no more. Nor did they give up their murdering, or witchcraft, or fornication, or stealing.